Why hello friends! In this video I'm going to show you guys what I do for a living, and currently I am a whitewater rafting guide in Oregon on the Rogue River. I get paid to be outside and go screw around on the river. Like, what more could you ask for? Oh yeah, we found this creepy thing on the beach. Kiss for good luck! Woo! The Rogue River is one of the most iconic rivers in the western United States. Beginning at Boundary Springs near Crater Lake National Park, it primarily flows west for 215 miles or 346 kilometers to the Pacific Ocean at Gold Beach. Its watershed encompasses over 5,100 square miles or over 13,000 square kilometers and covers parts of Jackson, Josephine, Curry, Douglas, and Klamath counties in southwestern Oregon and Siskiyou and Del Norte counties in northern California. Radiocarbon dating suggests that the first people to inhabit the Rogue River region arrived about 8,500 years ago. The first encounter the locals had with white explorers was in 1792 when British explorer George Vancouver anchored off the coast of Oregon and the locals went to investigate in their canoes. Throughout the early 1800s, there were continued encounters between the locals and whites which remained relatively civil. That is until 1834, when a Hudson Bay Company expedition was reported to have killed 11 of the locals. Clashes between the locals and the white settlers became more and more frequent due to the California gold rush and prospectors making their way through Oregon down to California. Eventually, prospectors started mining for gold in the Rogue River Basin, and the fighting between the locals and the settlers continued to increase, culminating in the Rogue River War of 1855 to 1856. By the end of the war, most of the local natives were forced north to reservations under the orders of Superintendent of Indian Affairs in the Oregon Territory, Joel Palmer, to prevent further fighting. Throughout the late 1800s, people began to settle along or near the Rogue River Canyon, drawn by the prospects of finding gold and other precious metals, as well as the desire to live relatively isolated from the outside world in this gorgeous place. In 1903, a man named George Billings built a two-story home and established a trading post at the settlement of Mariel and the current site of the Rogue River Ranch. Eventually, the Bureau of Land Management established the Rogue River Ranch National Historic Site and converted the main house into a museum. The original boats used to deliver mail to this area were generally 18-foot wooden drift boats, which eventually transitioned to rudderless jet boats by the 1960s that would also take tourists and locals up and down the river. These jet boats still operate today and are a very popular activity for visitors who come up to the Rogue. The Rogue's fame began to grow and attracted individuals such as author Zane Grey, who built a cabin at Winkle Bar along the Rogue in 1926, where he wrote the Rogue River Feud. President Herbert Hoover was also a regular visitor to the Rogue for what the president called the best fishing in the West. Eventually, commercial rafting trips became popular on the river, and it didn't take long before the Rogue was known for being one of the best multi-day river trips in the world.
Let's send it!
And I'm running free. Oh, there may be mountains or hills to climb, but it's now or never to win this fight. Yeah, I gotta win this fight. Gonna face some music before I lose it, and I gotta do this while I'm alive. Gonna face some music, it's time to prove it. I'm making history while I'm alive, 'cause now's my time. Oh, now's my time. Now's my time. Now's my time. Oh, I see the flame in a shining bright. I'm feeling the heat burn up inside. While I'm on this train, I'm gonna keep riding. But when there's trouble, gonna strike with lightning. Nobody's broke, I can't see me. There ain't no rest till rest in peace. And then there may be mountains and hills to climb, but it's now or never.
Well, them Morrison boys are at it again.
Win this fight. Gonna face some music before I lose it. And I gotta do this while I'm alive. Gonna face some music. It's time to prove it. I'm making history while I'm alive. 'Cause now's my time. Oh, now's my time.
And do try that at home because it was awesome. If you have, a river at your home.
Now's my time.
Life is pretty fun when you get to hang out on the river by yourself with no one else around.
Gonna face some music before I lose it. I gotta do this while I'm alive. I face some music. It's time to prove it. I'm making history while I'm alive. Oh, now's my time. Now's my time. Oh, now's my time. Now's my time.
Now, the excitement of being on the river isn't the only appeal to this place. One of the best parts of coming down the Rogue are some of the side quests off of the river. Some are nice and refreshing,
Howard Creek 2020.
Sometimes nothing's all you need. When you're stripped of all your armor, you can finally feel the breeze. We're living in the moment. We ain't got pockets full of money, but we're rich in other things. This highway is our living room. We're swimming in the mystery.
some are a bit more challenging.
I think I'll climb you today. Whew. That was a bit of a mission. Well worth all the sweat.
We were born with gold on the inside, gold on the inside. We're alive, we're sipping on sunshine. We want to taste of this
And all are gorgeous.
unafraid. We were made to wander. We will never let it go to waste. No, we're never gonna let it fade. We want to taste of this world as the offer. When we run out of wine, we'll be sipping on sunshine. Sipping on sunshine. If we can't afford a hotel,
There's certainly no shortage of wildlife out here either.
cheap breakfast in the morning, we got everything we need. We're living in the moment. We were born with gold on the inside, gold on the inside. We're alive, we're sipping on sunshine. We want to taste of this world as the offer. Unafraid, we were made to wander. We will never let it go to waste. No, we're never gonna let it fade.
One of the best parts of the journey is camp, where we get to unwind and find a nice spot to post up for the night.
Wine will be sipping on sunshine. Sipping on sunshine. We were born with gold on the inside.
Oh, And we bring some awesome food with us. It's always fun cooking on the river.
We're sipping on sunshine, sipping on sunshine. We want a taste of this world as the offer. Unafraid, we were made to want.
There are also some lodges along the river to stay in, and the lodge that I'm at most frequently is called Paradise.
Taste of this world as the offer. When we run out of wine, we'll be sipping on sunshine. Sipping on sunshine.
I don't like sleeping inside the guidehouse with a bunch of loud, snoring, farty dudes, so I decided to post up on the roof of the guidehouse.
Come out for an adventure on the Rogue where you'll no doubt make lifelong memories of this incredible place that I've been lucky enough to call home for the past several years.